Seconds before the 2008 Olympic 100-meter final, Usain Bolt looked straight into the pressure and grinned. The world watched as he shattered the record, then did it again in 9.58 seconds, leaving not just challengers, but physics itself scrambling to explain his dominance. But what unseen turning point turned a rural Jamaican sprinter into history's fastest man, and could anyone ever catch him? Usain Bolt was born on August 21, 1986, in Sherwood Content, a small rural community tucked into Jamaica's Trelawney Parish. Here the roads wind through sugarcane fields and the pace of life is slow, but for Bolt, childhood was a race. Neighbors remember a boy who ran everywhere, barefoot, chasing after cricket balls, and dashing through the rain to beat the thunder home. His parents, Wellesley and Jennifer, ran a grocery shop, and every errand became a chance for their son to test his speed against the village kids. At William Knibb Memorial High School, Bolt's talent became impossible to ignore. He won his first big medal at the Western Champs, and then kept winning, sometimes by such a margin that he would slow down before the line, arms outstretched, already celebrating. By age 15, he was breaking records at the Jamaican High School Championships, running the 200 meters in under 21 seconds. Coaches and teachers watched him outrun older competitors and wondered if this teenager from Trelawney could go further than any Jamaican before him. Stories from those early meets still echo in local memory. A tall, skinny boy, almost too relaxed, lining up against the best in the parish and finishing meters ahead. Even then, Bolt's confidence set him apart. But raw speed alone was not enough. The next step would demand more than natural ability. It would require guidance from someone who knew how to turn promise into greatness. Glenn Mills approached Usain Bolt's raw ability with a different mindset than any coach before him. When Bolt joined Racers Track Club in 2005, Mills saw not just a fast teenager, but an athlete whose mechanics left him vulnerable to injury and inconsistency. Over the next 2 years, Mills set about rebuilding Bolt from the ground up. Every stride, every arm swing, every start was broken down and practiced until it became second nature. The focus shifted from chasing times to mastering movement. Mills introduced plyometric routines and stride-focused drills, targeting Bolt's hamstrings and hip flexors, areas that had caused repeated setbacks. Instead of heavy weights, Bolt worked through explosive jumps, bounding, and core stabilization, all designed to build power without straining his frame. The process was slow and, at times, frustrating. Bolt's natural speed had always carried him past his rivals, but now he spent hours repeating the same technical drills, learning to run tall to keep his center of balance forward and to minimize wasted motion. Mills's philosophy was precise. Efficiency wins races and prevents injuries. Under this program, Bolt's stride grew smoother and longer. His ground contact time shortened, and his risk of hamstring pulls dropped dramatically. The coach's attention to detail extended beyond the track. Mental resilience and discipline were drilled just as hard as biomechanics. By 2007, Bolt emerged from this 2-year overhaul with a new sense of control over his body. The foundation was set, not just for recovery, but for a leap onto the world stage, where technical mastery would soon meet raw speed in ways no one had seen before. In Berlin, August 2009, the numbers behind Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record reveal a race unlike any before it. The official clock stopped at 9.58 seconds, but the story unfolds split by split, each phase exposing the mechanics of speed at its highest level. Bolt's reaction time off the gun registered at 0.146 seconds, not the quickest in the field, yet he was already rewriting expectations. Over the first 10 meters, his split was slower than his closest rivals, a reflection of his height and the inertia it brings. By 20 meters, his velocity was building, but it is between 30 and 60 meters that Bolt's advantage became unmistakable. Frame-by-frame analysis shows his stride length stretching to nearly 2.7 meters at peak velocity, covering ground with 41 steps where others needed 45 or more. The data curve from World Athletics splits shows his speed rising sharply through the acceleration phase, reaching a maximum of 12.42 meters per second, between 60 and 80 meters. Unlike other sprinters whose velocity begins to fade past 70 meters, Bolt's maintenance phase barely dips. His ground contact time remains longer, but the force applied with each stride keeps him ahead. Across the final 20 meters, while rivals decelerated, Bolt sustained a pace that left even the best trailing. Every segment of that 100 meters was a study in biomechanical precision, from the late surge that erased his sluggish start to the seamless conversion of stride length into speed. The numbers do not just explain how Bolt won, they chart the anatomy of a world record. Stride length became Usain Bolt's secret weapon in a sport obsessed with fractions of a second. At his peak, Bolt's stride stretched from 2.44 to nearly 2.7 meters, almost a foot longer than most of his rivals. While the typical world-class sprinter churned out 45 or more steps in a 100-meter dash, Bolt covered the same distance in just 41 or 42 steps. That difference was not just a matter of height, it was a product of biomechanical precision, each step powered by explosive force, each contact with the track calculated for maximum efficiency. His stride frequency measured between 4.28 and 4.5 hertz at top speed, and it was actually lower than rivals like Tyson, who spun their legs faster but covered less ground with each step. The rivalry with Tyson in 2009 brought this contrast into sharp focus. Gay, the American champion, ran a blistering 9.71 seconds in Berlin, at the time the fastest 100 meters ever recorded that was not run by Bolt. Yet even at that speed, Gay found himself chasing shadows. After the race, Gay said that it looked like his knees were going past his face. Bolt's ability to maintain velocity in the final 40 meters, while others faded, left his competitors searching for answers. Frame-by-frame analysis showed Bolt's ground contact time was longer, but the force he generated allowed him to sustain a pace that seemed out of reach for everyone else. Sports scientists have tried to model what might be possible if Bolt's mechanics were pushed to their theoretical limit. With an optimized start and perfect execution, projections place the human ceiling around 9.45 seconds for the 100 meters, just 1/10 of a second faster than Bolt's best. But no one before or since has come as close to that line. The numbers reveal a simple truth. Bolt didn't just win races, he redefined what was physically possible on the track. 8 Olympic gold medals, 11 world championship titles. Usain Bolt's medal haul stands unmatched in the history of sprinting. His relay team set the world record at 36.84 seconds in London, a mark that still stands. But Bolt's reach goes far beyond the track. His career earnings have been estimated at over $100 million, a figure rarely seen in athletics. Endorsements with brands like Puma, Gatorade, and Hublot made him a global marketing force, with his signature lightning bolt pose recognized on every continent. According to sports economists, Bolt's brand value transformed the commercial landscape of track and field, attracting new sponsors and raising the sport's profile worldwide. These numbers translate dominance into influence on the podium, in the marketplace, and across popular culture. No other sprinter has combined such competitive success with this level of economic and cultural impact. When Usain Bolt retired in 2017, the world was left with a question that still lingers. Can anyone match what he did on the track? Usain Bolt became the measuring stick for a generation. His 9.58 seconds record in the 100 meters remains untouched, weathering a decade of new talent, high-tech spikes, and faster tracks. That record functions both as a benchmark and a provocation to the sport. Historians draw comparisons to legends like Jesse Owens, who won 4 gold medals in Berlin in 1936, and Carl Lewis, whose Olympic career stretched across 4 games and 9 gold medals. Those legends are the reference points for greatness, yet Bolt's triple-double sprint victories and unbeaten world records set a standard that even his closest rivals have not approached. That standard combined extraordinary physical gifts with a psychological advantage on race day. Some experts point to deeper fields and technological advances as reasons a new champion might one day emerge. Technical progress in shoes, track surfaces, and training matters. Others argue that Bolt's combination of height, stride, and race day composure may never be seen again. Composure was as much a weapon as his speed. The debate now circles around a single point. Is Bolt's era a peak in human sprinting, or simply the latest chapter in a story still being written? Bolt's 9.58 seconds still stands, untouched, as the fastest ever run. Each new generation studies his races, chasing a limit he redefined. In a world searching for the next phenomenon, his legacy is a challenge. How far and how fast can human potential truly go?